On the 3rd of January 2020, the United States assassinated Iranian top military general and one of the most feared men in the Middle East, General Qasem Soleimani. Let's look at how he was assassinated with some of the best military equipment in the world and one of the best drones that is out there right now. The MQ-9 Reaper is one of the deadliest military drones in the world. It is an expensive piece of military hardware at $64 million. The MQ-9 is an unmanned aerial vehicle that came into service in 2007, retiring the previously used MQ-1 Predator A. It is currently operated by Australia, France, Belgium, America, the United Kingdom, India, and a few other powerful nations. The Reaper is a remotely piloted weapons platform capable of instant action and engagement. It is equipped with some of the best military tech out there. The baseline system carries the multi-spectral targeting system, which has a robust suite of visual sensors for targeting. The MTSB integrates an infrared sensor, color monochrome daylight TV camera, an image intensified TV camera, laser designator, and laser illuminator. The Reaper is also equipped with GBU-38 Joint Direct Attack munitions and a maximum of 4 air-to-ground Hellfire 114 missiles, each with a 9-kilogram payload warhead. The Hellfire was specifically designed to be highly accurate, produce low collateral damage, and be extremely effective as an anti-personnel and anti-armor weapons. The Hellfire missile does not explode at impact. Rather, it is equipped with ninja swords which will pop out on impact and slice, shred, and possibly grind its targets. These weapons, when combined with the MQ-9's maximum range and altitude, spells disaster for the target, such as that time in 2017 when the deputy leader of Al-Qaeda, Abu Qais al-Mazri, was taken out in Syria. What makes the Reaper unique is its operational capabilities. It can fly as high as 50,000 feet, which is higher than a regular jet. It can fly up to 15 kilometers in the air while carrying 1,701 kilograms of missiles and bombs. The MQ-9 drone can go as fast as 482 kilometers per hour, but it has a cruising speed of 370 kilometers. While that may be slower than some other drones in the market like the Northrop Grumman RQ-4 Global Hawk that can hit 629 kilometers per hour, it's one of the compromises made in exchange for stealth, which is the creepiest thing about the Reaper. This drone flies in absolute silence. The Reaper can be flying very close to your head and you will never know except to see it. During the 2019 Aviation Air Show, the MQ-9 Reaper drone was out of place among the other ear-splitting aircraft. It flew silently by a single demo, reportedly sending shivers down viewers' spines, as its Honeywell TPE 31110 turboprop engine barely made a beep. The best characteristics of the MQ Reaper, like all other drones, is that it doesn't need a human pilot. This means if there's a chance that the mission could go wrong, no human lives will be put at risk. In fact, operators can be as far as 1,850 kilometers from the drone and still perform maneuvers. The Reaper drone has only one objective whenever it hits the sky. That is to find, fix, and finish its targets. The MQ-9 is a wildcard. It roams the sky looking for its prey even at night. Once it picks the target, success rate is almost 100%. Qasem Soleimani was an Iranian military general who led a special guerrilla unit known as the Quds Forces. He was one of the most powerful and feared military leaders in the whole of the Middle East and Iran specifically. Due to his position, he had many enemies around the world, and specifically in the West. Soleimani had survived several assassination attempts by Western, Israeli, and Arab agencies over the past 2 decades. Previous US presidents before Donald Trump had tried to assassinate him, but they feared the consequences would be too big, so some tried to do it covertly. Last year, Tehran said it failed an assassination attempt by Israeli and Arab spies who tried to buy property next to a mosque built by Soleimani's father in the city of Kerman, so they could dig a tunnel and plant explosives to blow him up during a religious ceremony. For years, the US military kept close tabs on the Iranian general every day. Who he met, what he planned, the mayhem he plotted. Soleimani had overseen a network of paramilitaries, militias, and terrorist groups across the Middle East and beyond that furthered Iranian interests by often undermining those of the United States and its allies. After the US had accused him and his allies of attacking the US embassy in Iraq and killing an American civilian contractor, the Americans have had enough. It was time to take out Qasem Soleimani and damn the consequences. Soleimani had gone to Lebanon to handle business. He returned to Damascus. At Damascus airport, Soleimani boarded a Charmwings flight to Baghdad alongside other passengers. The journey from Damascus to Syria took about an hour 5 minutes. The plane landed at 12:32 a.m. Baghdad time. Stepping off his Charmwings flight onto the tarmac of Baghdad's airport, Qasem Soleimani was met by a familiar face, Abu Mahdi al-Muhandis. The deputy head of the Hashd al-Shabi Iraqi paramilitary was a long-standing ally of the Iranian general and a close friend. With him was a small reception party and 2 vehicles. Muhandis was seen by the US and his Iraqi rivals as the most dangerous man in Iraq, the executor of the Iranian will. He has been monitored by the Americans for years. Both parties boarded 2 vehicles that were waiting for them with their entourage. But this time, it was not going to be business as usual. Above them was the Reaper, circling quietly, waiting to prey on his targets. One of the biggest capabilities of the Reaper is that of surveillance. It roams the skies quietly, silently looking for its targets. All the while they had been at the airport, the Reaper had been in position, waiting for them to move and waiting for the order to strike. As soon as President Trump gave the go orders from Washington, the Reaper struck with the Hellfire AGM-114R9X Ninja missile. The blast hit Baghdad at about 1:45 a.m. and initial investigations have concluded that 3 guided missiles were fired at the 2 vehicles. The Hyundai Stax, traveling around 100 to 120 meters from the other vehicle, was struck with the first one. A second rocket narrowly missed the Toyota, which attempted to speed away. A third finished the job. The missiles which hit near the air cargo terminal reported Reuters killed Soleimani, Jamal Jafar Ibrahim, Abu Mahdi al-Muhandis, Soleimani's son-in-law, and the son-in-law of the late Hezbollah commander Imad Mughniya, who was assassinated by the CIA and Mossad in 2008. The Iraqi authorities needed several hours to identify the victims, some of whom had been completely touched. Soleimani, however, was easy to spot thanks to a large and distinctive ring he wore on his left hand embedded with a stark red stone, security officials told. The annihilation of Qasem Soleimani has sparked protests around the region, and Iran has vowed to avenge his death. On the 7th of January 2020, Iran had fired a dozen missiles into 2 American bases housing US troops, and the US has promised to respond back. But as we observe and watch events unfold, the Reaper is still very much around and ready to go when called upon.